What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another break on this Sunday afternoon. Right now, we've got our 2024 Topps Chrome Baseball Blasters 20 box half case number 30. I'm going to go ahead and get this shared over to the group as usual. Get everybody tagged, and then we'll go ahead and hop on in. Should be a fun one. Can't beat the value here. Scott Seaver, having a hard time tagging you. If you go by something else on Facebook, let me know. Afternoon, Peter. How you doing? Almost got all the tags in here for everybody. Brandon, having a hard time tagging you. If you go by something else on Facebook, let me know. I'll get that tag added. Hopefully. Oh, watching football, that's always fun. Hopefully we can get you some luck on the randomizer. Go ahead and give everybody just a second now that I posted those tags to hop on in here, and then we'll hop over to that randomizer. Excuse me, randomizer. I'm all tongue-tied this morning. All right, let's do this. Get this pulled up. Hop over to our browser. We've got our names here first. 30 entries. Peter Killinger on top. Joe McKay on the bottom. Going to roll the dice. Anything 4 or less, we will roll again. Got a 10, so we're good there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Peter on top. Brian Thomas on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and get this reflected onto everybody's screens. There we go. Then we'll hop over to the team. Same thing, 30 entries. Arizona Diamondbacks on top. Washington Nationals on the bottom. Roll the dice. Anything 4 or less, we roll again. We got a 9, so we're good there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Seattle Mariners on top. Houston Astros on the bottom. There we go. Let me hop back over to the main. Get that trade timer started for everybody. While that's starting to tick, I will go ahead and get these verification codes pasted into the chat. Heck yeah, Steve, let's get you some Jackson Merrills. That's a good one to have. Peter lucked out with the Yankees there, so the randomizer was good to you. Don't forget, everybody, for the Dodgers and the Yankees, there is the MVP buyback going on right now for Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. That counts for any base cards and refractors, so not the inserts, but any numbered base, numbered refractors, and back-to-back stamped MVPs for Shohei as well. Just about 3.5 minutes left on the trade timer. We have an offer up in the chat if you want to check that out. Brian has the Astros and Guardians up for trade. Got a couple offers in the trade now. Definitely recommend checking those out if you're interested. Also going to do a shameless plug that we have one spot left on our Panini Flawless Football break. So if you're interested in getting the close on that one, that's the nicest football product there is. Highly recommend that. We also have Leaf Trinity Football, random hit up, as well as Formula One and WWE. So lots of variety today. And as I said that, Jim Conlon closed us out for that Leaf Football. So that is close. That'll break right after this. Looking forward to that as well. We've got under 2 minutes left on that trade timer, but still a little bit of time if anybody does want to trade teams. Go ahead and... All right, last 60 seconds here on the trade timer before we hop on in for a really fun 20 blaster break. All right, last 30 seconds here for any trades. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0. All right, seeing no trades, those are going to be everybody's teams. Good luck, everyone, just like Peter said. And here we go. One thing I will tell everybody, for most of the rookies, I'm going to set them off in their own pile and sleeve them after the break. That way you don't have to sit here and watch me sleeve hundreds of rookies. But any of the top rookies, obviously, we'll sleeve and top load on the break. But just wanted to make sure everybody knew that so it doesn't look like I promise I'm not ignoring sleeving those. Just looking to save y'all some time for your viewing pleasure. Empty box there. Here we go. Looking for 2 sepias and 2 pinks per box as well. Got a Bryce Harper and a Rafael Devers. Let's get that Iron Lion fire for everybody. And hopefully some nice buybacks. Didn't see a ton in the last 20 blaster break, but we got a couple of Shohei and Judge. Would love to see one of those low-numbered Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge cards. Make it even sweeter. Make sure I get that to focus there. On an Elly De La Cruz. Start us off with that pack. And we've got an auto for the Pirates. Going to be a Hunter Stratton. Always love to see autos in these blaster breaks. That one, once again, going over to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Steven, there you go, Steven. Congrats on that auto. Nice Seiya Suzuki pink there for the Cubs. All right, let me get this base moved over. We'll hop into box number 2. Empty box there. Got a Carson Spears here for the Reds. That one's going to be 142 out of 150. Give me just a second here. All right, cool. And our second sepia going to be Kyle Tucker for the Astros. All right, let me get this moved over. We'll hop into box number 3. Still looking for those Shoheis and those Judges. Haven't seen one yet. I'm sure we'll find a couple. Hopefully we can find some more autos too. More low-numbered stuff. I think that's kind of the fun thing about blasters, depending on who you ask. There's more mystery to it because not everything, like with hobbies, you're supposed to be guaranteed a certain amount of autos and inserts and things like that. Empty box there. There's not as many guarantees with blasters, so when you get an auto or a low-numbered card or something like that, it's always exciting. Not that it isn't with a hobby, but... 2 more packs out of this box. All right, let me get this moved over. We'll hop into box number 4. Empty box there. Good luck once again. Got a nice Shota Imanaga and Christopher Morel both going over to the Cubs. I feel like the Cubs could be a contender again in a couple of years. I feel like they're starting to finally get the tools they need. As a diehard Cubs fan, I wish it would come quicker, but hopefully I'll see at least one more World Series in my lifetime. Who do you guys think is the best pick right now for the World Series next year? Right now, I think I'm going with the Tigers or the Orioles. I think they're both teams with a lot of rookie potential and a strong foundation. I know you can never tell before the season starts because one team that looks amazing might not do so well, but those are my picks right now. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Got a nice Randy Arozarena here for the Rays. 235 out of 275. All right, let me get this moved out of the way. As usual, we'll move into box number 5. Got a Mickey Moniak here coming over to the Angels. That one's going to be 87 out of 350. And we've got a pink Ellie De La Cruz right behind that. Nice ones there. Got a Shohei Ohtani here for the Dodgers. Go ahead and get this sleeved and top loaded. Nice one for the MVP buyback. Happy to answer any questions on the MVP buyback as well. I'm sure most of you already know what it is. But it also, highly recommend, there's an article on Topps Ripped that does an amazing job of explaining how it works, what the different values are, and obviously you can turn it in at Iron Lion, our shop. But there's a calendar, or not a calendar, excuse me, a map of the stores that are participating too, so you can find the best one in your area. Very useful resource. Not want to come out. Empty box there. Summertime in the Park, Francisco Lindor. Got another auto here for the Padres. Jose Espada, 473 out of 499. Now it's going over to Steve Miller. There you go, Steve. Got an auto coming your way. Congrats on that. Always love to see those autos in here. Hopefully we can get you a Merrill too. But at least an auto is better than nothing. Nice Jackson Holiday there. You know, I've been thinking the same thing when I've opened these. Not just these, but like a lot of Topps flagship. Like, you get a lot of pitcher autos, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I'm not trashing that at all, but it does seem like pitchers seem to be the #1 favorite. Which I mean, kind of understandably, because you don't have that many guys come up to bat in a game. Normally the batting order stays relatively the same unless you have a pinch hitter or something. Empty box there. But you do have 3 or 4 pitchers a game. Well, depending on the game. But you know what I'm saying, like, teams need a lot of pitchers. Got a Dansby Swanson and a pink Jackson Merrill. Yeah, exactly. That's the point I was trying to get at. Make sure that focus is there. Nice pink Jackson Merrill for the Padres. And Steve. I saw a funny joke about that with Daniel Jones, the former quarterback for the New York Giants. There was a video of a guy talking to him like, wow, you're my favorite football player, and having this whole conversation. He goes, anyway, I'll take a McRib and a large Sprite. And that cracked me up. That'd be kind of cool, though, if you were like working in a bank or something and someone recognized you. I'm sure that feels nice for some of those guys. Yeah, I am with you on that. Nothing against Paul Skeens. But yeah, that's my point. I agree. Skeens is really good and has broken a lot of records, done a lot of really amazing things, but Merrill's been the favorite all year. Got a nice Jackson Holiday here coming over to the Orioles. 22 out of 150. I'm going to correct that again because my vision is terrible. It's a 72 out of 150. That's why I hesitated, because I was like, that's definitely a 7. But nice one there for the Orioles. 72 out of 150. Yeah, I think Jackson Merrill deserved it. I just wonder, sometimes with awards like that, how much of it had to do with Skeens has the hype right now, right? Like, he's the hot ticket right now. So I wonder if that calculates into their decision, like, who is the most followed player right now. Like, I do think an argument could be made for Skeens deserving it, but I think Merrill should have gotten it this year. Got a Jackson Chourio for the Brewers. I'm sure all of you have seen that video too of Skeens winning the award, and everybody around him is so excited, and he just kind of smirks a little bit. That's what I worry about too with Skeens. He's amazing talent. And get these moved over, hop into the next box. But what if he gets injured or something? Well, yeah, that's also a part of it. The people he surrounds himself with also make him more popular. But, like, I don't know. Even though it's a completely different situation that I won't get into, as we saw with players like Wander Franco, the hot ticket rookie can become not a hot ticket rookie in seconds. So, like, that's my only worry when players like Skeens get so much hype. Empty box there. But I think it's well-deserved now, and as long as he continues on the same path, he will be an amazing player, amazing pitcher. I'm just always paranoid with those big rookies, how quickly the tide can turn. Yeah. Well, I hope, too, he doesn't get... I don't think this will happen. He seems like he's just reserved. But sometimes his, like, unenthusiasm for different events makes me worry that he would either get too big for his head or just kind of be a jerk to people. Summertime in the park, Jackson Holiday going over to the Orioles. And you never want those diva players on your team. I don't think he's like that, though, at least so far. And hopefully he sticks with the Pirates for a little bit, because that can also be detrimental to a player's success. As we saw with Chris Bryant won Rookie of the Year, won a World Series, and then became terrible. He's one of my favorite players, and it pains me to watch him sometimes. Got a nice all-etch rookie rush, Ronnie Mauricio, with a Ceddanne Rafaela right behind that. No, I don't think he's a jerk at all. I think he's just more reserved and does not love the public. Not in a bad way, but like, he just wants to keep to himself, which I 100% respect. What got me thinking about that originally was I was thinking about that deal the Pirates made for his debut patch. And I was thinking about the story with Mark McGwire, where the fan caught his record-breaking ball, and the fan said, "I'll give it to you if you just let me meet Mark McGwire." And Mark McGwire blew him off and was like, "I refuse to do that." Because he wanted to focus, is what he claimed. But you just never want to see that for fans. But I don't think he's like that. Time will tell. But we were joking in another break just because on every one of his cards, except for the ones where he's like actually in action, he just does not look happy. All right, here we go. Box number 9, almost halfway through. Empty box there. And I mean, if Mark McGwire was being completely... Did Casey Schmidt pull his debut patch? Did you pull it? Speaking of the devil, Chris Bryant for the Rockies. With McGwire, if he was being genuine that he just needed to focus, I respect that, but it's not that hard to just say hi to someone, let them walk in the locker room for 5 minutes and boot them out. I heard an interview with musician Post Malone one time where he said, "I'll always take a picture with a fan, even if I'm not in the best mood, because it might be 5 seconds of inconvenience for me, but that fan's going to remember that forever." Oh, that's cool. Congrats on that one, Brian. I'm curious because I read about this on Topps. That's cool. I read about this on Topps Ripped, and I have not seen what it looks like. There's a clear window on the back of the card, right, to show the MLB authentication sticker? Because I feel like that never really gets shown. Obviously, that's not the selling point for the card, but whenever anybody pulls them, they just show the front. I'm always curious to see what that little window, if it ruins the back of the card or if it actually looks nice. That's cool. I appreciate with those, too, that you can go back and watch. Obviously, with the debut patches, that's a little bit easier because you know what game they debuted at. But, like, I collect game-used baseballs from games I go to, and I appreciate that you can go back and watch the exact moment, or roughly the exact moment, where those balls were used through MLB authentication. All right, box number 10. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Empty box there. Nice Randy Rosarena and Ketel Marte. Got a Junior Caminero for the Rays. That's awesome. That's always special, too. I always say when I hear about stories like that, like, it's so cool to do that because as much as that card might mean to you, it means so much more to that player or their family, depending on, like, I know Jackson Holliday's dad really wants his debut patch. I don't know when my voice cracked there, but I just think that's special to give that back to them. Especially if it benefits both parties. Plus, then you have a cooler story than just pulling the card. Like, that's cool to begin with, but also being able to say you got that card back to that player and communicate with them, that's special. All right, into the back half. Here we go. That's cool, Brian. Glad you were able to do that. I'm sure it's hard, especially with, like, just because those cards are so rare, so unique, I would have a hard time getting rid of it, too. Empty box there. But I think in that case, that's more, like, I don't know if I could sell a card like that to another collector, but to the player themselves, I feel like that warrants the exception. Got a J.P. Crawford here for the Mariners, 21 out of 199. Zach Gallen right behind that. I feel like that's part of what makes collecting so special, too, is those connections you make through a shared interest or a special card. Let's do it, Jared. Still gotta get you that banger on Flawless next, too. Yes, sir. I have a lot of fun with Flawless. It's always slightly daunting in a good way. just because the enormity of the cards that come out of there, but they're so much fun. So many amazing cards that you'd never get a chance to see otherwise. And I got a good feeling. I haven't hit a 101 out of Flawless yet. I've only opened one briefcase, but got a good feeling we've got a 1-of-1 shield coming up. I'm going to put that into the universe. Got a nice Elly De La Cruz here. That last one I did was a Cowboy crazy box. I think a third of the hits I got were for the Dallas Cowboys. But hey, I'm never going to complain pulling a Deion Sanders auto. Yeah, Nate had a stellar Breeze and Sanders autos, yeah. And, now I'm blanking. Jordan Love, gem. We had the Nike swoosh out of 2. Empty box there. Yeah, Nate pulled the Aaron Rodgers. But hey, this is a fresh case. You never know. The Aaron Rodgers was the one before, but it was from the same case. That's a big one, too. Congrats on that, Steve. Interested to see where his career goes. Not saying that is a bad thing, just there's a lot of rumors right now that he may be switching teams next year. So interested to follow that and see what happens. One of my good friends is a diehard Jets fan, so I know he's going to be a little bit sad. Funny story about Deion Sanders, since we were talking about that patch. I went and met him up at CU Boulder. Yeah, Jets are 100% about to release him. But that's my sister's school, so I went up there to meet him. And we were walking back because I parked by the football stadium, and I see these lights. And it's like the middle of the night, dark. So I think this car is like speeding on a walkway for students. Nice Aaron Judge there for the Yankees. I think it's a car speeding for students. So I turn around to give the driver like a dirty look, like, hey, don't hit me. It was Coach Prime on his golf cart. So he swerved around us. Was like, have a good night. Was really nice about it, but I felt bad for giving him a dirty look, realizing that it was Deion Sanders about to hit me and not some random partying student. And to answer your question, Jared, as far as I know, the Skeens has not been pulled yet. I haven't checked, like, obviously I don't check every minute, so it could have been hit. Yeah, it was hilarious. He was really nice, and it was a funny moment, but at first I felt really bad. Because it was like that area where the stadium is and where their athletic facility is kind of isolated. It's not a normal thoroughfare except for on football days. So I think that was part of my frustration is like, there's all these main roads you could be taking. Why are you speeding around back here? Yeah, I'm very curious. I don't want to speculate on where the Skeens is, but I was talking yesterday. I'm always very curious on, yeah, I think that would be everywhere. I'm very curious on how many of those don't get hit or how long until we see the Skeens. Because you would think, at least my speculation was, or my thought, you'd see that in Elly pop within the first few days. But Elly took longer than expected, and Skeens still hasn't been hit. So I wonder if it's something like Brian's saying, or if someone bought a box and was like, I'm keeping this sealed, because I know collectors do that as well. So I always wonder how many of those massive cards are just sitting in someone's closet somewhere. Well, yeah, that would be the other if that were to be the reality, that would be the reason why is once that Skeen gets pulled, it will kill the desire for the product a lot. I mean, there's still Jackson Holiday, still a couple other big ones, as far as I know, but Skeens is the #1 chase, so as soon as that gets pulled, the hype dies way down. I know someone, too, I saw this morning, someone pulled the Skeens 1/1 auto from Topps Now. And I could be wrong because I haven't followed it in a while, but the Brady Bowman, if football doesn't work out, I'll always have baseball with that similar inscription. That's still out there too, right? Nobody's pulled that yet? Because that would be another massive card. I don't know. I like to stay optimistic and say it's out there somewhere, just in a box that hasn't been bought yet. And someone's not either hiding it or something like that, but you never know. Yeah, see, I would love to chase that Brady, but until that's found, those prices are going to be crazy. That was my hope when we had Topps Composite. That was like one of my first breaks. I was so hoping to pull a Brady auto. Because just to be able to see one of those in person would be insane. Yeah, let's get one in a blaster box. That would be... They're not in this one, but they are in Chrome Update. That would be crazy to get out of a blaster box. That'd be one of those things you love to see, though. I would love to pull that Skeens for a customer. That would be the ultimate dream. But otherwise, I hope it's someone like a kid that gets to pull it. I think that would be nice to see. I'm not against anyone pulling it, but I think it would be more special if it was like a Kid's Burst monster card. Because I think if they did take that deal from the Pirates, that would be more special. Empty box there. Than an adult. Dang, that's cool. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever... Nice Wyatt Langford there. Like, for personal. When I've opened blasters personally, the biggest thing I've ever pulled was out of a WWE box. It was a R-Truth auto 10 out of 10, which I was pretty stoked about. But that's by far the biggest thing I've pulled out of blaster personally. I used to buy blasters every time I'd go to Target or whatever. Had to slow down a little bit. Dang, that's cool, Jared. It doesn't count as blasters technically. They're really small boxes, but the craziest things I've ever hit, not as a breaker, but in my personal life, is I'm a huge Trevor Lawrence fan. Nice sepia Shohei Ohtani coming to the Dodgers. I'm going to go ahead and get that one top loaded and sleeved. Congrats on that one. Be a nice one for the MVP buyback. What was it? Oh, but when Trevor got drafted to the NFL, Topps did a Trevor Lawrence series before his team got selected and all that, where his brother did art cards and then he did like Topps throwback designs. And I bought 2 of them, and I pulled Trevor Lawrence numbers out of 100 or lower out of both of them, which was crazy. Got a Cade Marlowe, 112 out of 125, coming over the Mariners. Damage boxes and car rips. Those are the best ones to do for blasters. Nice one there for the Mariners. Same with, I feel like, last boxes on the shelves are always good luck. Hopefully. Sometimes there might be a reason that's the last one there, but... Nice Summertime in the Park Juan Soto and an Alan Wyness. All right, let me get these moved over. We'll hop into the next one. I normally don't have... Everybody says car rips are the best. I normally don't have luck with car rips, but I did pull that R-Truth 10 out of 10 auto in my car, so I can't say that I haven't had success with it. I'm trying to think of anything else I've pulled out of blasters. I pulled a couple autos. Nothing huge. Empty box there. I think I just like car rips because I'm very impatient. I don't want to wait to have to get wherever I'm going to find out what's in my blasters. There we go. Nice Jordan Lawler there. Got a nice Jackson Merrill for the Padres. Got a Mickey Moniak on the sepia. Yamamoto here. Two more packs, and we hop into our last 5 boxes. Got an Elly De La Cruz. The scary thing with car rips, though, is what if you pull an absolute monster and then you don't have the supplies to protect it? I think that would be my big fear. Not having sleeves or top loaders or anything like that. All right, let me get these moved over. We'll hop into our last 5 boxes. Ooh, that's smart. Empty box there. Luckily, I do now. just because when I was starting out as a breaker, I would always practice anytime I had to sleeve and top load. So I have some in my backpack, my work backpack now. But I should definitely have like a small supply. I don't buy as many blasters as I used to. I tend to do singles or breaks now. Just because I'm mainly, other than football, I love collecting football and baseball a little bit, but I primarily collect WWE now. And some of the autos there you can get for the same price as a blaster. So I tend to just invest in the autos of the guys that I love and then get into a couple breaks. That way I'm not ending up with so many base cards of people that I don't necessarily enjoy as much. But I still love a good car rip every once in a while. Nice Jordan Westburg coming over to the Orioles. Nice summertime in the park, Aaron Judge. Get that one sleeved up. All right, let me get these moved over. Hop into the next one. Like I said, after this, we do have Flawless Football that has sold out. We've also got some other fun breaks on the website. Highly recommend checking those out. We got Leaf Trinity Football, which is a guaranteed hit break. Random hit break, whichever you'd like to call it. Empty box there. Got Topps Chrome F1. Had a blast in that first break. Pulled a Max Verstappen out of 15. Or out of 25, excuse me, last night. Perfect to follow up the Vegas F1. We also have WWE still up on the website if that's something that interests you. Always have a blast breaking that. We've also got our pre-sale for Bowman U. Nice collegiate football product. Caden, we've got 15% off most things on the website, I believe. I don't think we are doing anything for breaks themselves. But stay tuned. You never know. Either way, I'll be here ripping and we'll have some fun. I'm going to try to get a little Black Friday shopping done that morning myself. I always love to go to Barnes & Noble. They do signed editions every year. You can get massive celebrity signatures for very affordable. I think it was last year I got Arnold Schwarzenegger, Patrick Stewart, Jordan Peele, all on signed books. And then I'll be coming here and having some fun with y'all. Definitely cannot believe that Black Friday is next week. I feel like this year has flown by. No way. Get these moved over. That caught me off guard. I really hope the Panthers win. Nothing against the Chiefs. Well, a little against the Chiefs, but Panthers beating the Chiefs would be an insane victory. My stepdad is a diehard Chiefs fan, so I know he would not be thrilled about that. Gotta root for a little bit of Panthers success since my Jacksonville Jaguars are playing so terribly this year. Don't get me wrong, Brown. I don't root for the Chiefs. I root against them always, but I can't deny that they're a good team. Got to give them that respect. I went to a Panthers game last year. It was so much fun. It was a Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Panthers. We smoked the Panthers. Got an Ellie De La Cruz summertime in the park. What happened with the Cowboys, Jared? Are the Cowboys finally doing well? They'll be doing better next year with their new quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. That's a joke, by the way. I think I'm in the minority. I don't think the Cowboys are actually going to try to go for a quarterback, but I could be wrong. Try to get that to focus there. I'm very interested to watch where Travis Hunter goes and if Shedeur and Travis try to work out some deal to go together. Kind of similar to Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence a couple years ago. Dang, that's crazy. I'll have to go back and check that. It's my favorite thing to do at the end of the night after all the breaks on Sunday when I get home is just go home and watch the highlights of the football games of the day. Sometimes I'll have it on in the background just as like ambient noise. But since the Jags have been doing so terrible this year, I've kind of stopped paying as much attention. Got another Shohei Ohtani. And a Spencer Steer on the sepia. Get these moved over. We'll hop into our second to last box. I know this late in the season, the teams are already pretty, solidified. But I would love to see a sleeper make it to the Super Bowl. Dang. Would have loved to see the Panthers just pull that one off. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That's the thing. I can hate on them and not root for them, but I can't deny that Patrick Mahomes is a generational quarterback. Might get some help from the refs every now and then. Can't say that for a fact. Empty box there. I wouldn't mind seeing the 49ers come back and get revenge on the Chiefs. Although I went with a lot of 49ers for my fantasy team this year, and none of them have helped me at all. Brock Purdy did all right for a little bit. But, of course, I was ignorant enough to pick Christian McCaffrey. And he's done nothing because of his injury. And Brock Purdy's out right now, right? At least that's what my fantasy said. Got an Aaron Judge there for the MVP buyback for the Yankees. Gonna crack open another thing of top loaders real quick. Finally made it to the end of that stack. Yeah. That's the downside. Or the biggest hindrance is if you've got a ton of injuries, no matter how strong your team is, you're not. Dang. Got a Tyler Soderstrom here for the Athletics, 183 out of 299. And an Alex Bregman right behind that. Totally understand it. I know they're probably not making it to the Super Bowl, but I will admit the Broncos are definitely doing much better than I expected this year. Nothing against Bo Nix, but as a lifelong Coloradan, I've never grown to expect much from the Denver Broncos as much as I would love to. We were riding high with Peyton Manning and then just quick crash. We let Russ cook and it did not work. Yeah, see, that stat right there would make me hesitant to keep him as a coach. I know that's not completely on him alone. Empty box there. But if you're blowing leads in 3 Super Bowls, you probably need to reevaluate. Got a Nolan Gorman. Same with, I'm actually a big fan of Doug Peterson. I thought he was a good coach, especially for the first years for the Jaguars. But this year, I'm with the unfortunate crowd that's like, just get rid of him and start over. If your coach is hindering your team, even if it's not completely their fault, just let him move on for a little bit. Maybe bring him back in an advisory role or something. But when there's so many people willing to coach and capable, why draw out the inevitable? Well, it's interesting, too, because Doug Peterson is making a lot of the same mistakes he made with the Eagles that got him relieved from that team. So, quite unfortunate, but is what it is. Got a Reese Olson coming over to the Tigers here. 283 out of 399. A Javier Baez going over to the Tigers right behind that. Dang. So the kick was good. That's got to be an interesting game to watch. All right, here we go. 2 packs left. Good luck, everybody. All right, let me get these moved out of the way, get things adjusted, and we'll hop into our recap. All right, here we go. Got a Reese Olson coming over to the Tigers, 283 out of 399. Tyler Soderstrom, 183 out of 299, coming over to the Athletics. Got a Cade Marlowe, 112 out of 125, coming over to the Mariners. Got the Shohei Ohtani on the Sepia. Got the J.P. Crawford, 21 out of 199, coming over to the Mariners. Got the Jackson Holiday coming over to the Orioles, 122 out of 150. Got the Jose Esponda auto, 473 out of 499, coming over to the Padres. Got the Mickey Moniak coming over to the Angels, 87 out of 350. Randy Arozarena, 235 out of 275 for the Rays. Carson Spears, 112 out of 150, coming over to the Reds. And another pitcher auto, Hunter Stratton, coming over to the Pirates. All right, that's going to do it for this break. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on with me. I'll see some of you in the flawless break in just a few minutes. But if not, have a wonderful afternoon.